Okay. All right. Are you with us now?
I am. I think I accidentally hit a button when I was getting out of the car, so.
All right. So, y'all, it's Shabbat, the beginning of the Passover. Yeshua, thank you. The mind, the souls, the heart, anything else be ready for Yah. As today is Shabbat, beginning of Shabbat on Yom Shishi. That Yah arise, enemies be scattered, and then that Haman must flee. That Yah arise, enemies be scattered, and then that Haman must flee. That all heaven and earth be silent as Yahuwah enter into his tabernacle. That all heaven and earth be silent as Yahuwah enter into his tabernacle. That all heaven and earth be silent. That all heaven and earth be silent this day as we prepare our souls, our minds, our body, and present ourselves to Yahuwah, who is, who was, and is to come. Who is, who was, is to come. Yahuwah, let us stand. In his favor, glory, so far. Thank you again for another day you have given us. You have blessed us. You have blessed us and made us a living soul this day and gave us a breath of life that we may be in your presence this day, Yeshua. We come on Yom Shishi today on the beginning of Shabbat and Yom Shabbat to reverence your name, Yeshua, to come to your temple, to come and reverence you for your King of Kings and Elohim or Elohim, for there's none like you, Yeshua, in the heavens above, on the earth, under the earth. There is none like you, Yeshua. So we come right now to bow before you and worship you. You are worthy to be praised, Yeshua. We ask you right now, Yeshua, to come be with us this day on this Yom Shabbat, beginning of Yom Shabbat. Yeshua, we ask you right now, as you commanded your people, Yisrael, to keep the Shabbat day as we can keep it from the beginning to the beginning, Yeshua. We keep it from one end to the other end, Yeshua, to reverence your name, because you said so. Let's say our prayer together. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, for there is some evil. For thine is the kingdom, power, and glory forever. Amen. May be seated in the house of Yah. Welcome everybody to a Bethel Saturday Church. TV Land, I welcome you to the house of Yah. One more time on Yom Shishi. We praise Yah today. And like I said, TV Land, we say praise to Yah that we got a place. We be moving out of here. You know, I hate to leave this place, but we got another place that Yah has blessed us and opened the doors. The Bethel will be in that place in New River. So we are kind of excited and ecstatic. So we got a couple more Shabbats we'll be here, and from there we'll be doing Shabbat over there in New River. New River, you know, it's New River, it's a new place, new land. And we are thankful and we praise Yah for what he has done. He has heard our prayers speedily. Speedily he heard our prayers and he moved. And I thank Yah for just moving and doing what he does. You know, he didn't leave us stranded. He did not, you know, he didn't give us the wrong directions. He didn't be silent on us then and just left us. You know, he was there for us. So we thank Yahuwah for what he's doing. Again, I am Bishop Richard Hairston Teaches. Shalom to the house of Yah. All right, the Creed of Bethel is Ephesians 4:5. We believe on Yah, on faith, on baptism. Ephesians chapter 2, verse 20. At Bethel Foundation, our foundation built upon the apostles and the prophet Yahushua Mashiach is the chief cornerstone. He is the foundation of a Bethel. We don't do nothing without Yeshua, and we listen and obey what the apostles said because they've been with Yah. You know, it said it was Kadesh men that were moved by the rock Kadesh. So they were Kadesh men that was already consecrated already. They already stayed steadfast, unmovable. They already presented their body before y'all already, and they was always faithful to y'all. That's why y'all used them, and y'all used them mightily. So that's why we got their examples and their testimony as today. All right, I thank y'all again for what he's doing. The phone number, Bethel, is 910-388-5295. My phone, your bishop phone number is 910-381-3056. All right, just wanted to say thank you, Yeshua. Thank you, Yeshua. Thank you, Yeshua. I said thank you to the name of the Most High for right now, for just answering my prayers. That's my concern, since he made me overseer of Bethel. Man, that's where my soul and my heart longs to keep the temple of Yah going. You know, as he gave me this task and this calling, I don't want to slip up. So I give him praise for answering my prayers, for giving us another place. The place is not that big. I say it's about a little smaller than this place, but I thank y'all for what he given us. And like I said, y'all kind of chastised me anyway, because of Brother Pedro. He shared a couple of things that's something we're going to be doing now. We'll be looking for our own land, our own place. You know, that's the next step. We're going to be one more move, and that one more move going to be in our place. After we move in this joint right here over in New River, and we start growing and building, we're going to start putting our money to the side, and when we get some land, then we're going to get a church. It's that time. You know, that's what y'all was kind of telling me right now. While we spending our money on here and burning our wheels over here and burning our wheels over there and paying all this money, and it's not meaning anything. You know, it's a place to worship. But now we're going to start preparing before Yahuwah come. If Yahushua don't come, well, we will have a place to worship. But again, I thank y'all for blessing the Bethel Sabbath Day Church. I thank y'all again for blessing the Bethel Sabbath Day Church, blessing his people that's in the house that keeps the Shabbat for real. And that's why he kept us. We went to y'all as this. I said, y'all, you told us to keep the Shabbat. We need a place to worship. So you know y'all cannot lie. So y'all bless us with a place to worship on Shabbat. All right, I'm going to pass this mic, and may y'all give praise.
Shalom.
Shalom.
All praises to the Most High, Yah, for his mercy and his grace, and his love, most of all, for keeping me another day, another week, another day. Woke me up this morning to see the morning light. I give him praise, honor, and glory for what he's about to do in my life, about to send me on my way to my next journey, destination for me to do his will, and his will only. That's why I serve him. That's why I love him, and I adore him, because he brought me through. He didn't have to do it, but he did, and I'm just all praises for what he's done.
All right, Sister Sue, praise him.
Hello, everyone. Well, we've got a beautiful day here. It's warm, sunshine. I actually have some air conditioning on in the car. It's got warm out today. And I guess I will just go to my old standby, Isaiah 66, starting at verse 21 for my Shabbat scripture. And I will also take them for priests and for Levites, saith Elohim. For as the new heavens and the new earth which I will make shall remain before me, saith Elohim, so shall your seed and your name remain. And it shall come to pass that from one new moon to another, and from one Shabbat to another shall all flesh come to worship before me, saith Elohim. And they shall go forth and look upon the carcasses of the men that have transgressed against me. For their worm shall not die, neither shall their fire be quenched, and they shall be an abhorrence unto all flesh.
Amen. Thank Yahuwah again for his goodness and his mercy. All right. Well, we got a treat for you tonight. We got Minister Richard Hairston. He will be speaking tonight in Bethel. We thank y'all for blessing the man of Yahuwah again in this hour. I am thankful. I'm just going to sit here. I'm sorry. I just got to pray for me that every time I stand, it's just like my knee. It's just I don't even want to get up because I know my knee's going to hurt. But I thank Yahuwah for healing my knees. I thank Yahuwah for going back and forth to therapy and working my knee out and praying that my knee will strengthen and get better each day by day. I thank Yahuwah for blessing Big Dog Wireless. And again, we're still working on money, so I may be the ownership. People be asking, is the business yours yet, or is the business yours? And I'll be saying, yes, we're in the process of, we're working on it. And Now I believe that Yahuwah will provide me with the money that I may go ahead and buy the business and continue on and doing the things for Bethel and the churches in Burundi, Bujumbura. Yes, and I ask TV Land, everybody, to sound my voice to keep me in prayer. I am working and trying to go back to Kush in June. June the 19th, the 17th to the 19th, and that's when I'll be flying out, and I'll be there practically for like 2 weeks to a month. So I'm asking everybody, to keep me in prayer, keep my mind in prayer, because all the pastors are happy that I'm coming back. That is crazy, man. All the pastors are just ready for me to come back. They're ready to fellowship. They're ready to talk about what the church is and what we're going to do there in Burundi and Bujumbura and the surrounding areas. That is awesome. I got a couple of pastors in Congos trying to come over, the next country over, want to build a fellowship, want to build a church. So it's get a chance for me to preach the gospel of Yahusha. Give me a chance to share with them about the resurrection of Yahusha, that it tells me about the salvation of Yeshua, by preaching the name, by being baptized in Yahusha's name, and praying that they will be filled with the rocket dish. I'm so excited. I'm so excited that they are getting the messages, and then they will get baptized in this precious name, Yeshua, get their sins washed away. And that's all I care about, when they get the understanding now that y'all dealing with the rocket dish. But the rocket dish will teach you all truth. It will direct you. If you want sin, it will correct you, but it will build you up. It will give you power. It will give you stamina. It will increase your faith. It will encourage you. So I am very thankful for what Yahuwah is doing this hour and this day. I give him praise, but I ask Timberland and the house of Bethel to continue to pray for the finances that I may go. And remember, I'm coming back from Kush. I will be going to Montana to do with Sister Sue. We will be doing the state fair in Montana. So I'm praying that will go well. For all that proceeds of money will go back to Africa. We're trying to build land. We're trying to buy land. We're trying to build churches. We're trying to do a lot of things. So the only way I think to help to provide the funds is through the church, because we know the church, you'll get the name. But what are we doing? We're ministering. We're not trying to sell no dinners or anything like that. We can, but a dinner will last you, 2 hours and it's gone. But a shirt, you can wear it and you can be a minister. You can minister the name of Yeshua, minister the name of Jesus. You can go out and speak the name. That name will carry to the next person, to the next person. That name will speak for itself. That's why I thank y'all for giving me that, because you don't hear the name Yeshua. You don't hear the name of Jesus. You don't hear nobody speak about it. It's like everybody's scared. Everybody's scared to speak the name. Nobody want to talk about the name. So I'm thankful Yeshua that he gave me that. He says, that's something I've been wearing for years at my job. And he said, why don't you do that? Because you're a testimony where you go. Everybody's talking about Yeshua. You got a chance to minister. Why don't you do the same? So that's what we've been doing. So we've been going there. It'll be about the 3rd year. We'll be going to Montana with the shirts and stuff. My 2nd year at the fair, it was an awesome time last year. I enjoyed Sister Sue and my brother. It was a good fellowship, and it was a time we got a chance to meet a lot of people there, and share the testimony and share the love of Yeshua, which that's what y'all wants. He wants to share the love, and they see the love amongst the brother. They see Yeshua in the mix. So I'm ecstatic. So I got it's gonna be a crazy 90 days now. And like I said again, we're in the process of moving. We should be moving by next month into our next building. I say after May the 15th, we should be over there, cleaned up, moved over there, ready to rock and roll. And again, my brother's daughter's graduating June the 2nd, and we'll be back in Montana right there. Me, my brother, my little brother, my mother, and encouraging my little niece, Mackenzie Hairston. She will be graduating. So she'll be graduating high school and going on to college. That's the last one to me and my brother have some children. So it's the last of the grandchildren graduating so far. So I'm excited. I'm ecstatic for my little niece, graduating. So we get a chance to go back to Montana. And I'm hoping to get a chance to see Pastor Walsh. Even though the graduation is on Sunday, I'm going to try to still sneak in and go to church and see Pastor Walsh for a minute and then go to the graduation. And then from there, come back, go to Africa, and then come back from Africa, and then from there, go to Montana again for the church for 9 days. then come back, then settle down, buckle down, and get ready to go back in the fall, winter time. And this time, when I go back in the winter time, we'll be doing some work, a lot more work. All right. Again, I just thank Yahuwah another day. Like I said, we're getting ready for Passover. Passover starts right now. So it's to the TV land. Passover starts now. No unleavened bread. It means no leavened bread. Excuse me. You're supposed to toss all the bread, and bread represents the sin. So we're saying cleanse yourself from sin. The bread in yourself. You are sinning around your house or anything else that cleanse yourself from sin. All right, I'm going to introduce you to, excuse me for sitting down again, my brother, Minister Richard Hairston. He will come to the pulpit and preach a message of Yah on the beginning of Shabbat. Come on.
Thank you, sir. Give me that right there. Yes, sir.
All right. What can wash away my sins? Nothing but the blood of Yahusha. What can make me whole again? Nothing but the blood of Yahusha. Oh, precious is the flow that make me white as snow. No other fount I know. Nothing but the blood of Yahusha.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. All praises to the Most High.
Yes.
For He is worthy to be praised. It's good to be in the house of Yah again, because He's worthy to be praised, and be an honor for Him to appoint and anoint me to give His word to not only to myself, but to all the believers, and also to the non-believers out there, to let them know that we serve a powerful Elohim, Yah. He's worthy to be praised. I'm coming to you tonight. My sermon and the topic of my sermon lesson is Yah wants to prove Himself to those in His life, to those He loves. Yah wants to prove Himself to those in His life, in our lives. And I came up with this message today by thinking, always with the question, why does the Most High have to keep proving Himself to us over and over again? And I like to go back to the Old Testament. I'm thinking about always the children of Israel, where it all began, the stiff-necked people, disobedient children of the Most High, that since getting delivered from Egypt, getting delivered from Pharaoh, watching Pharaoh get destroyed by the Red Sea, walking through the Red Sea on dry ground. Then after that, then going through the desert, the wilderness, getting fed by manna, pheasant, water from rocks, bitter water from the lakes. Like the bishop said, led by a cloud by day for cover and a fire by night. Took out all the enemies, didn't have to fight all the way to the promised land. And still, time and time again, He had to prove Himself when the children of Israel started getting disobedient, started doubting Him, started losing their faith. So I said to myself, why does Yah put up with that? Why does He even prove Himself? Why does He have to prove Himself? He's done everything He has to do. And plus, in this holiday season, He did the ultimate proof of His love for us by giving His only begotten Son, Yahusha, that died on the cross for our sins. The ultimate price and the ultimate sacrifice. So He proved it all right there, but we still do the things that we do, that He still has to prove Himself time and time again, because we lose our faith. And like I said, we are stiff-necked people. We have doubt. We lose our faith, and we know that's the tricks of the enemy. And we know when fear comes, there's no perfect love in fear. And we know we doubt, we have faith. But that's why the Most High, our Abba, our Father, He proves Himself to show His might, to show that He's still with us, to show that He loves us. And I think Yah likes to prove Himself because He can. He likes to show out every now and then, because He's Yah by Himself. There's no other. He will have nobody other than Him. He will share the glory with no one. So I think He likes to show out. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying this is my own interpretation, my own thought process. not to show out to be prideful, because we know the Most High is not prideful. He like to show out because he can. And I was thinking about, y'all, he's in a relationship with us. You know, before you got to a relationship, you know, we try to date somebody, you know, that girl or that guy, and you start first down a date, you try to impress them. What do? You try to try to show out, try to flex your muscles, you try to dress real good, get your hair done. And that's what y'all's trying to do to us. Before we was his children, before we was his love, he had to come get us. He had to attract us to him. And the only way he had to attract us to him is to show himself out, to show himself approved, to prove himself. Because before him in the land, before he wiped out Noah, the people before Noah, and everything in Noah's time, because he wiped it out because of the idols, the idol worship. Remember, he's a jealous God. He's a jealous God. Not jealous in a prideful way, like he said, it's sinful jealous. He's jealous because we're supposed to worship him only. He said, worship him only and praise him only. So he's a jealous God. Like we're a jealous man or a jealous husband or a jealous wife. When somebody looks at us and try to come our way and try to rap at us, that's the same way the Most High is jealous to us. He's jealous, but he's also zealous. He wants us. He loves us. He wants to have communion with us. That's why he has to prove himself, to show that I'm yours and you are mine. So I think he does that just to show out a little bit. And Yaakov, he loves to flex his muscles for his bride. The church, we are his bride. Like I said, I don't know, for us, like the bishop, we had a basketball court on the side of the yard, and we like to play basketball out there, but we noticed that when the girls start coming out there to watch us play basketball, you change your game a little bit. You get high speed, you try to dunk, you try to do a crisscross, you try to shoot jumps, you try to talk smack. You do all that because you try to gain the attention of this female that come out there to look at you. So you try to put your bid in and say, hey, look at me. So she might pick you to be her beau. And that's what Boaz, Ruth, that kind of story like that. So that's what the Most High does to us. He tries to flex his muscle. He tries to show that I'm all powerful. Come look at me. See what I got for you. And take me. Don't take that other guy, which is the Satan, which is the world. He ain't got nothing for you like I got you. One of the main points is, though, we should be chasing him anyway and not him chasing us the other way around. So we're supposed to be chasing him. But in his infinite love, in his infinite wisdom, in his infinite mercy and compassion, he comes running after us. He'll leave that 99 and get that one. He comes running after us because he wants a relationship with us. We were made in his image. So when we made in his image, we were made to love him. We were made to care and have compassion. He loved. God is love. Yah is love. Yahusha is all about love. He said, because they have the love of the Father in me. So it's all about love. He loves us. And to love us, sometimes he has to prove his love. You know, that they're saying, every night I got to prove my love sometimes. And that's what our parents say to us. They say, I have to prove my love to you. And we get spanked sometimes. I don't know how that's proving our love to us, but it must be for something. So God loves to show his might for us. His beloved. We are his beloved, his betrothed. The church is his bride. He has to show out sometimes so he can make sure that there's no other. He said, have no other gods before me. He loves us and he cares for us. He's a jealous God. And if you don't believe me, go ask the children of Israel the things that he did to them. He can't stand it. He detested. He said, I am one. I made you for me and I am for you. And he made for us to seek him. That's the thing about it. He goes for us. He shows and flexes his love, his muscles for those who seek him. He's not going to do that for any old body. He wants to be adored. He wants to be admired. That's why he made us. He wants to be loved and adored. He don't want no robots. He made the angels to work for him, to serve him and adore and worship him. But they even betrayed him. 1/3 of the angels even left him. We even betrayed him. Adam and Eve did. But he still loved us. He still cared for us. And he still wants that relationship with us. And those that don't love him, they still get blessings. He still shows the love for him. Because we know they're in the world. And they know there's still hope for them. But we call those daily benefits. He loves us so much that he gives us daily benefits every day. When you wake up, it's a daily benefit for us to seek him and us to get it right. Even for us that are backslidden or us that have sinned, it's for us to get it right. So we get daily benefits for him. That's because he loves us. But he wants to show that his might to those that are committed to him. And show what I'm talking about. Let's go to 2 Chronicles chapter 16. 2 Chronicles chapter 16. Verse 7. through 9. And this is talking about how the Most High, he doesn't go for those that don't seek him. If you turn your back on him, it's like, why should I show my love for you if you're going out to another man or another God? He's a jealous God. So if you're not seeking him, he's not going to seek you. So why should he waste all his good loving on you when you're giving it to somebody else, in a manner of speaking? So let's go to 2 Chronicles chapter 16, verse 7 through 9. And it reads, And at that time, Hananiah the seer came to Asa, king of Judah, and said unto him, Because thou hast relied on the king of Syria, and not relied on Yah, your Elohim, therefore is the host of the king of Syria escaped out of thy hand. What he's saying is, just because you turn your attention to another person, another thing, another being, another entity, or choose somebody else to be your God, when you called on me, and if my loving wasn't good enough for you, my strength wasn't good enough for you, then I have no parts of you. That's what he's saying right here. Since you've done all that, then you can go to that God or to that person. Were not the Ethiopians and the Lubians a huge host with very many chariots and horsemen? Yet because they disrelied on Elohim, he delivered them unto thy hand. In verse 9. For the eyes of Yah run to and fro throughout the whole earth to show himself strong in behalf of those whose heart is perfect toward him. Wherein thou hast done foolishly, therefore from henceforth thou shalt have wars. And I like that verse 9. He said, For the eyes of Yah runs to and fro through the earth to show himself strong in his behalf. Like I said, he's looking for somebody to flex his muscles to. It's like he's on Venice Beach trying to flex his muscle, but nobody's paying attention. So he's looking for now. He's going out to find those that's seeking for him. So if your eyes are flinching toward Yah, he's going to flex his muscles toward him. What I mean by flex his muscle, he's going to show you provision. He's going to show you favor. He's going to show you grace. He's going to give you everything you ask for because you are showing your attention toward him. You're paying attention to him. And that's what it's all about. He said, make me the apple of your eye, I'll make you the apple of my eye. But if you don't, if you go whoring after other gods, or after other pimps, or after other men, or whatever, or whatnot, other desires, I ain't got nothing to do for you, because I'm a jealous God. I should be the one that's the apple of your eye. The Most High is looking for that truth of the heart. That truth of the heart, the ones that's the one that have a wandering eye for him, and not the wandering eye for somebody else that jumps on the bandwagon, or jump on any other thing except him. Since the eyes are the eyes are the windows to the soul. He sees everything. He doesn't want nobody to get his glory, like I said earlier. And promises of giving him the glory is a worthy thing. You won't go back. You won't go back the way you came once you see what the Most High has for you. You see how he proves himself. Once he proves himself, you shouldn't go back to anything else because he's not going to do it in any old kind of way. He's going to do it marvelous. He's going to do it grandioso. He's going to do it strong and might. He's going to do it one time, just like Yahushua died on the cross. He died on the cross for one time and one time only. He don't have to go back on the cross again. He don't have to get up, come out the ground. He have to come back from heaven and do it all over again. One time is good enough. That's why I understand that he did all these things to prove himself. If he did it one time, then what does it take for you to love him, to believe in him? But the children of Israel, not so. They had to do it counts and counts of times again. And I like this, the Psalm 34, verse 8. I can read it. If you want to turn to it, that's fine. I like what it says. Oh, taste and see that Yah is good. Blessed is the man that trusted in him. It says, oh, taste and see. It's like he said he wants you to try him. He's giving out some sample sizes. Like you go to these stores out here like Sam's Club and all these Costco's, and they have those ladies out there, the trays with the food and the toothpicks on it. They're trying to entice you to taste it. You taste it. You try to taste it and see. And if you taste it and see if it's good to you, he said, I got a whole box of these things right here for you to take home with you for you to enjoy. And that's what Yah the Most High is doing. He said, taste and see. He said, once you have a taste of me, you don't want nothing else. You won't go back to those false idols. You won't go back to the world. You won't go back to anything else because I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to give it to you right. I'm going to prove myself. But they say the proof is in the pudding. That's why he says, approve me, taste me, try me, and see that you won't like it. But we try him, and then we think there's something else. But there's nothing else because he's the most. He's the chili most, we call it. Another thing, y'all was trying to recruit or lure people into his fellowship. And that's a sad thing to say, that he has to try to recruit or lure us, because he's not doing that, because we have free will and we are made in his image and we walk on this earth. So he does have to do that nowadays, because you got everything else in this world that's drawing our attention. But he should be first. He's the first and he's the last. And he's the Alpha and Omega. But he has to try to recruit us with those daily benefits I'm talking about. If you got blessed with a job, if you got an illness, you got cured for cancer, if you prayed to the Most High and you called on him and he blessed you with that, that's proving himself to you. That's showing that you are in his favor and he has love for you. So why are you going back to the other things? Why are you not coming to worship? Why are you not going to the Shabbat? Why are you not going to the studies? Why are you still sitting in the same place you are and not giving him reverence and not worshiping you when he pulled you out of that pit? That's the question at hand. Why did he still have to prove himself after he saved you from whatever he got you out of? He shouldn't have to do that. He shouldn't have to prove himself so many times, but he does, because he loves it. Y'all is a jealous, y'all. He's jealous. He doesn't like nobody taking his glory. And proving himself is another way of his righteous jealousy, as I said before. And proving himself, like he said, on doing things negatively against y'all. If he has to prove himself negatively against you, it's a righteous jealousy. That's what the world says. Why does he kill all the babies? Why do we have tornadoes and hurricanes as such? Because he's a sovereign. It is a righteous jealousy. Because they had time to get it right. They're doing so much foul things that he had to do something to get your attention. That's like any other relationship. If you're not doing the things you're supposed to, your mate will do something to get your attention, and you're not going to like it. And that's what the Most High does. But his love is everlasting to everlasting. He loves us, so he's going to keep on proving himself. Even though we turn his back on him, he's going to keep on proving himself, because that's his character. That's who he is. That's why he loves us the way we are. Yet, while we were still sinners, he still showed his love for us, and he died for us through Yahushua, the Hamashiach. He loved for us, gave his only begotten Son. Even when we go astray, Yah still proves his love for us by taking us back when we call on him. By his grace, he takes us back time and time again. But it's only for so much time he can do that, but still he shouldn't have to prove himself. He said, yeah, I'll take you back, girl, because I know you know good. I still love you anyway. I know we sin, but to completely turn away from the one that has everything is something I don't understand beyond my understanding. I know I do it, but I know that I still can run to him. But after a while, you should be coming to your heart and your head that he is the one. There is nothing else out there, because he created everything. So if he created everything, he made everything good. Like in Genesis said, he said, I created this and everything is good. I'm good. Y'all is good. He's good and perfect. So why are you going to run to anything else? Why do you got to keep asking and proving himself? And that's pride right there. That's sin itself. You're going to keep asking, it's not showing him. Show me again, show me. If you do this one thing, y'all, and I believe in you. If you do this one thing, y'all, I believe in you. He did that one thing because of this season right here. He gave his only begotten Son to die on the cross. He gave it all. He proved himself that one last time, so he shouldn't have to prove himself anymore. If that ain't what I call love and faith, I don't know what else is. Why would you do yourself to that thing again? Why would you lust after another man when you have the ultimate man in your possession, or the ultimate woman in your possession? Y'all is serious about proving himself. And he has allowed us to be in a part of his presence and challenging him. We come boldly to the throne of grace. He said, try me. He said, test me. I know it says we're not supposed to test the Most High, but he said, test me. He said, try me. He said, almost like the Most High dares us. He try. He said, try me. He said, I dare you. Just like the bishop says, if the Shabbat is a blessing, it commands a blessing, like he always says, he said, try me, dare me, and see if I won't do for you. Because he has to, because that's his character. He has to. He cannot go back on his word, he cannot go back on his promises, and he cannot break his covenant. So he says, prove me. If you don't believe, it's hard. He says, even prove me, because he knows that we are failing heart. We know that we're not believing, doubting Thomases, all of us. He said, prove me, and I'll show you. He'll show you so great works that you'll believe it, and the man next to you will believe it, or the woman next to you will believe it. That's how he blesses us. Let's go to Malachi 3:10. Show about that pouring out of that blessing. He said, prove it. He said, won't I? That a saying that they say now, won't he do it? I like that saying, that song, won't he do it? And that's what goes on with this lesson right here. Won't he do it? But the one thing I forgot to mention, you have to be in a relationship in the will of the Most High for him to do that. Or you be in the presence of just his daily benefits. He'll do because he can, because he's a good father. He gives blessings to his children, good and bad. So, and that's his character. He loves everybody. So you're just going to get some of the daily benefits. That means you'll get your life for another day. So let's go to Malachi chapter 3, verse 10. And it reads, "Bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse, that there may be meat in my house, and prove me now herewith, saith Elohim of hosts, if I will not open you the windows of heaven, and pour you out a blessing, that there shall not be room enough to receive it." He said, prove me now within. He said, won't I do it? He said, try me. He said, if you be obedient and follow my instructions, then prove me then. Just the only way he's saying right here, only way that you can prove me is to do it. It's an action and a reaction. It's a cause and effect. If you don't do what the instruction said, how can he prove himself to you? Because it requires you an action. It's an action word. It says prove. Prove me now. He said, I double dare you. If you do this one thing, then I will triple, I will bless. Because he has to. That's right here in his word. He cannot go back on his word. But like I said, you have to have a type of relationship with him to do that. You have to be in that man-woman or woman-man relationship with him so he can prove himself. To prove his love, if you get queasy, or if you get, how do you say, your self-esteem sometimes, if you don't believe, or, if you don't believe he loves you. He says, prove it. He said, prove it. Prove it. Do something for me, and I'll do something for you. But his something for you is going to be 10 times more than what we do for him, because we can't do nothing for him that has been already done. So he said, prove it. That's why I like Malachi. Prove it. He's talking about tithes into the storehouse and everything, but he said prove them on anything. Prove it. Prayers for your children, for the house, for a new building, a new job like myself. He said prove me. He said prove me. Won't he do it? My testimony, I'm not even supposed to get that job the way I'm saying it, because the things on my resume are things of my past. And I didn't think I was going to get it. He said prove me. He said try me. He said won't he do it? I got the job. I'll start in 2 weeks. He said prove me. He loves testing. He said prove me. Prove me. If you love me, prove me. Show me. I'll show you what I can do. Like, won't he do it? And stop giving the one that has nothing but death your attention. And that's another thing. Like I said, stop giving the one that has death nothing. That's Satan. We're out in this world and giving him, testing him, and giving him all our goods, all our worship, all our glory to him. But the one that's supposed to have it is the Most High, that he wakes you up every morning with the daily benefits. But he said, prove me. And we do that when we ask him for things at night, or we come to Shabbat and ask him for things. I need a job. I need a building. I need money. I got cancer. I got illness. My children are acting up. He said, prove it. He said, won't I do it? And when we prove him, that's when he was supposed to give him the glory and give him the worship, because he's the one that did everything. Right. Proving himself is part of the relationship. And that's the key thing I'm talking about tonight. He's our Father. He's our Abba. We're in a relationship with him. And he's also our King, and he's our Savior. So the relationship, you can pick any one of those three. He's all of those. But you in any kind of relationship with him, he's going to prove himself. Because he's at war with the evil one. Like the scripture says, what evil man would give his son a serpent? Would he give him a fish, or give him a rock, or give him some bread? The same thing with the Most High. He said he'll give us good things if we ask him. So he said he's not in competition, but he knows that the evil ones out there is going against his word. He's going to give false gifts. He's going to give false things to prove. So the things we ask for a new car, or we ask for this thing falsely, because we don't go boldly to the throne of grace. We're not in a relationship with him. Like we always say in this house, Satan got some presents for you too. He got some things for you too, but you don't want those things because it comes with a price. Because for the quid pro quo, like I always say, this for that. And then by the time for him to collect, it's going to be your soul. It's going to be death, because the wages of sin is death. Yah wants the glory. He wants it all. He is Yah, and he's Yah by himself. So why would he prove himself? He wants the glory. He don't want nobody else to take his glory, not even Satan. Satan tried to take his glory in heaven, and look what happened to him. He fell
from grace, he fell to earth, and now he's still trying to get some glory, but y'all, he don't want none of it. That's why he's going to be cast in a lake of fire, where he can't bother nobody no more.
That's right.
Let's go to Isaiah chapter 42, verse 8. And this is one of my favorite verses, where he puts a stamp on it right here to let everybody know who he is and what is he about. Isaiah chapter 42, verse 8. I am Yah, that is my name, and my glory I will not give to another, neither my praise to graven images. I love that. He said, my name is Yah. I am who I am. He said, my name is Yah. So what he's saying is, like, if you're trying to go in a relationship, he's telling you who he is. He said, I'm Yah, I'm Mac Daddy, I'm Big Boss, I'm Big Daddy, I'm all that you ever gonna need, and you don't need nobody else. But on the same token, neither I'll give my praise to a graven image. So like I said, if you're gonna give all your time and efforts to the evil one or the things of this world, he's not going to get his praises. You're not going to get his praises. That means he's going to turn your back on you. He said, why should I waste my time if you're with that other fellow? Are you with the world? Are you with the evil one? Why should I waste my time? I'm not going to give my praise to the graven images, the other guys. Remember, he's jealous. He said, I'm not even going to look at you. You're not worthy. You don't want this or what I've got. And if you come later and do the right things of repentance and saying you're sorry, then of course he'll take you back, because he's a loving father, he's a loving king, he's a loving husbandman, groomsman of the church. All right? Probably proclaiming his name, he did Isaiah 42 verse 8, and probably displaying his game. Like I said, Macadacious, he said, I'm Yah, there's nobody else. I got 1,000 cattle, 1,000 hill. I'm the first and the last. I'm everything. I'm El Shaddai. I'm El Shalom. I'm everything. El Danai. I'm the first. I'm the provider. I'm the Alpha and Omega. But all those titles, he's saying that to prove, he's saying his title first. And then, of course, like they say in the street, well, show me, prove me. We're in this prove me era, in this prove me world right now. We don't believe anything anymore. He said, you got to show me, which that's a good thing sometimes, but this has been proven since the beginning of time. That's what I'm talking about today. He shouldn't have to prove himself, but he wants to do it, to show his love for you. And also, it's not going to be just for you, it's going to be for everybody else, because you're going to run and tell somebody. Like the woman at the well when Yahusha came and told her about herself. He proved himself. He said, she said, I think you're a prophet. I perceive you're a prophet. He proved himself and saying, yes, you have some husbands, and the one you with is not yours. And after that, she ran into the town and said, come see about this man that told me all about myself. So Yahusha had to prove himself a couple of times to get the approval of his own people, which he came for. He came for the Jews, he came for the lost children of Israel, and they still didn't believe him, so he still had to prove himself. The Most High wants sole credit for what that is done. Plus, he gives his blessings away. He doesn't give his blessings away to the unholy, and that is the sinners. He's not going to do it. The blessings you're going to get is the daily benefits, which we know those are blessings. But you want the true blessings of the Most High, you got to be in a right standing with him. In a righteousness, that means you can't be full of sin. It's like you can't be that whore that he always says in the Bible, that whore on the street. You can't be the whore and with some other guys, whoring after other guys. Why would he give all that stuff to you, which you're going to give to somebody else? Remember, he won't give his praise to any graven images. That's what that means right there. And make sure you know what he's about. And then make sure you know it's about him and it's not about you. That's the main thing. It's about his glory. Make sure it's about him and not about you, so he can get the glory. Because we are disciples. We're supposed to go praise him. We're supposed to bring others in and testify about the goodness and of how he blessed us. Like my job, I told everybody. I jumped up and told everybody at the church, at my mom's church, and how I got a job, thanking everybody for his praise, and give him the testimony and give him the glory because he's worthy. Let's go to Zechariah. Zechariah, chapter 4, verse 6 and 7. And we just show how the Most High, when he's proven himself. And he just doesn't use supernatural things, but he uses people like us. And that's the way he proves himself. He doesn't use any any old thing. He uses people like us so he could get the glory, to show that this is not a fluke. This is not an occurrence. Doing marvelous things. Zechariah chapter 4, verse 6 and 7. Zechariah chapter 4, verse 6 and 7. And it reads, Then he answered and spake unto me, saying, This is the word of Yah unto Zerubbabel, saying, Not by might, nor by power, but by my spirit, saith Yah of hosts. Where art thou, O great mountain? Before Zerubbabel thou shalt become a plain, and he shall bring forth the headstone thereof with shoutings, crying, Grace, grace unto it. What he's saying, I'll go back to verse 6. Not by might, nor by power, but by my spirit. But the Most High is saying that he's not, sometimes he doesn't do the miraculous thing that move mountains or split the Red Sea. He's going to do that small thing to get his glory. He doesn't have to do all those things. He does that. He did it in the Old Testament. He did it in the children of Israel. But he's going to do that small thing, that small victory to show you that, to prove himself. Because that relationship you have with them. You want a building, you go on the knees. Bishop prayed for a building. He said, I'm going to do that small thing, but it's going to be great in your eyes where he's going to get the praise and the glory. I needed a job. And nobody else needed a job but me. The job was for me. Everybody else got a job but me. But I cried out to him. I fasted. I prayed. And he said, and I challenged him. The bishop says, you come to Shabbat, you gotta write the challenge. I challenged him, y'all, you know how you gonna leave me? Don't forsake me. Just like Yahusha even challenged the Most High, his own father. He's upon the cross. He said, why hast thou forsaken me? What he was saying is, why are you leaving me hanging in the cross? You said you're going to give me the glory if I did this thing for you. And he did. He had to turn his back on him because he was full of sin for us. But after that, what happened? He rose up out of that tomb on the third day. Once we celebrate this season, the resurrection, he rose out. And then what happened? He told his disciples, all power is in my hand. So the Most High proved himself and kept his word to even his own son for completing the works and the will of his. So that's what if he did that for him, he'll do that for us because we are joint heirs with him, because we're in a relationship with him and we've been bought with a price. If we're under the blood and under the will of the Most High, he's going to do the same thing for us. He will prove himself. He has no choice but to prove himself because that's his character and he loves us. That's why I say he has no choice. He wants to show us that not only by supernatural power, splitting seas, moving mountains, killing armies off, but he wants to do it personally for us as a personal relationship. As a father, he loved to prove himself. Yahusha proved himself to Yahusha many times again. As Yahusha prayed to the Most High, saying, Father, do this one thing for me. Just like he did with Lazarus and raised him. He proved himself again. He said, Father, I pray to you. Thank you for doing it. Most people, when I read that, he thanked the Most High in advance. He said, Father, thank you for what you've done already. That means Yahusha had faith that whatever he asked for was going to be done already. Not, pray, I think you will, I know you will. He said, thank you for what you've done already. That means he already knew, he had a confidence that the Most High was going to prove himself, that whatever he asked for was going to be already done. And that's the faith and relationship that we got to have with the Most High ourselves. He already had proved himself many times again. So he said, thank you in advance for what you're doing. That's what we should do ourselves, to prove it. We said, thank you in advance, Most High, for proving yourself time and time again. Thank you, Most High.
You ain't right. Minister Favor, you ain't right, man. Come on, man.
Proving himself over there. And let's go to Matthew chapter 5.
Hey, on that unleavened bread, don't prove it on himself, man.
Y'all proving himself on this.
Matthew chapter 5, verse 1 through 9. And we're talking about how the Most High proves himself. And we're talking about Yahusha, who is Most High Elohim in the flesh. Talking about this is where Yahusha, he had to prove himself because he was the anointed one. He was the Messiah, the Hamashiach that came on the scene. But his own people didn't believe who he was. So you talk about somebody that had to prove himself time and time again through the Gospels. It was him. Matthew chapter 5, verse 1 through 9. Let me get there. Good stuff. Oh, I'm sorry. supposed to be Peter. I apologize. Yes, talking about Peter. When he got Peter, his disciple, and Peter didn't believe him when he had to launch out.
Oh, okay.
What was that? What chapter was that? I'm sorry. I might have wrote the wrong one. Is that Matthew or is that Mark?
Probably
I apologize. Man. Well, let me go. Sorry, I had the scripture.
Go ahead, man. I'll find it.
The bishop's gonna find it, but to prove himself to Peter and all the other disciples, Yahushua had to do some things. He had to do some miracles so he can prove himself. And he did it for two reasons: to show his might that he was sent from the Most High, and also so they were going to be his disciples. They had to go out there to believe him first, so they could do great works. So they had to believe that he was the Messiah himself, and so they had to do great works. And I know if not for Peter, and we know the story about Peter. Yahushua came to Peter and said, "Go out, let's cast your boat out. I want to preach." And Peter was fishing all night long, and he said, "Master, there's nothing out there, and there's nothing out there. So we're tired. There's nothing out there. I don't want to do it." He told us to go out there once again, and this time throw your nets on the side that I'll tell you to, and then see what happens. Because of his obedience, we know that Peter did that thing, and then Yahushua proved himself to him that he was the Messiah. He was the Hamashiach. And remember, and then he got his attention, got Peter's attention when he did that. And then he proved himself to be the Messiah. And what did Peter say to him? "Master, get away from me. I'm a man of sin." And then what did Yahushua say to him? He said, "Don't worry about that. After this day, you're going to be catching men." So like I said, he did those two things to prove himself so he could show that he is heaven sent from the Father, the Messiah, the Hamashiach, and also that he's going to gain the approval of his disciples to know that so they can go forth and spread the gospel that we have found the Holy One, the one that they're written about. The other disciple I like talking about is Nathaniel. Let's go to John. John chapter 1, verse 43. Again, this is when Yahushua had to prove himself to his disciples because they doubted. And we all doubt. John chapter 1, verse 43. And I love this because this is when it's showing that everybody calls Yahushua a prophet. And this way he showed that he was a prophet because he gave the gift of prophecy right here.
That was Luke chapter 5.
Luke chapter 5. And let's go to Luke chapter 5 and read that so we go by the word here so you won't think I'm paraphrasing or going on my own account. Luke chapter 5 verse 1, talking about Peter, how Yahushua used Peter and used to prove himself that he is the Messiah and that he has got great works for Peter and the rest of the disciples. And it came to pass that as the people pressed upon him to hear the word of Yah, he stood by the lake of Gennesaret, and two ships standing by the lake, but the fishermen were gone out of them, and were washing their nets. And he entered into one of the ships, which was Simon's, and prayed him that he would thrust out a little from the land. And he sat down and taught the people out of the ship. And now when he had left speaking, he said unto Simon, "Launch out into the deep, and let down your net for a draught." And Simon answered, said unto him, "Master, we have toiled all night, and we have taken nothing. Nevertheless, at thy word I will let down the net." And I love that word, nevertheless. That means, anyway, since you say so, because you say so, Master, I'll go out there and let down my net. And everybody heard the service on that because that was that nevertheless. If he's obedient to the word. He said, because if you say so, only you, Master, I'll do that for. I'll let down my net. And that's when everything started to change for Peter. Verse 6. And when they had this done, they enclosed a great multitude of fishes, and the net brake. And they beckoned unto their partners, which were in the other ship, that they should come and help them. And they came and filled both the ships, so that they began to sink.
And when Simon Peter saw it, he fell down at Yahushua's knees, saying, Depart from me, for I am a sinful man, O Elohim. And I'll stop right there. That verse 8, when Peter saw it, he saw everything that happened. He saw that how Yahushua had proved himself to be who he was, more than a master. That's when Peter fell to his seat. He recognized who he was right then and there. He's more than any master or teacher or rabbi or Donnie. He recognized that he was the Messiah, the Mahamshiach. And that's when he fell to his feet. He said, Get away from me. I'm not worthy. And of course, Yahushua said, Don't worry about that. I got you, and you're going to be a catcher of men for the rest of your life. Let's go to chapter John, Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 43. And I like this so much that he had to prove himself, and Yahushua wasn't even in the place to be. And the thing about it, if you read this, it was a day prior that he came unto Nathanael. So that's when he is unbelievable. To show that the prophecy, to show that the power and the supernatural of the Most High. John chapter 1, verse 43. The day following, Yahushua would go forth unto Galilee, and finding Philip, and said unto him, Follow me. Right here, he didn't have to do anything. He just said, Follow me. And Philip got up and just followed him. And now that's amazing in itself right there. Verse 44. Now Philip was of Bethesda, the city of Andrew and Peter. Philip finding Nathanael, and saith unto him, We have found him, of whom Moses in the law and the prophets did write, Yahushua of Nazareth, the son of Joseph. And Nathanael said unto him, Can there any good thing come out of Nazareth? Philip said unto him, Come and see. Yahushua saw Nathanael coming to him, and saith of him, Behold, an Israelite indeed, in whom is no guile, which is no dishonesty. Nathanael said unto him, Which thou knowest me? Yahushua answered and said unto him, Before that Philip called thee, when thou was under the fig tree, I saw thee. Nathanael answered and said unto him, Rabbi Adonai, thou art the Son of the Most High, thou art the King of Israel. Yahushua answered him and said unto him, Because I said unto thee, I saw thee under the fig tree, believest thou shalt see greater things than these? And he said unto him, Verily, verily, I say unto you, hereafter ye shall see heaven open, and angels of Yah ascending and descending unto the Son of Man. Amen. And I like to go back to verse 46. And it reads, And Nathanael said unto him, Can there be any good thing that come out of Nazareth? Philip said unto him, Come and see. Like most of us, we always downplay everything that has to do anything with the Most High. And that's the world today. That's like, there is no God. There is no Yah. Because that's made up by man. Or we want a sign of wonders and